What's up, everybody? Old Guy 379 here coming at you. I am underneath my trailer, as you can tell. I've had an ABS light that's been plaguing me for a couple days now. It's been driving me absolutely nuts. Some of the issues are, like right in here, if you can see this, where my finger's pointing, this wheel speed sensor, especially on these spread axle trailers with all the stress that gets on them, can actually cause it. And if the wheel end's a little loose, and even without that, it can cause those sensors to get pushed back out. Number one thing, always just get you a big flat blade screwdriver and just shove them back. You just got to push on them a little bit. They'll slide in and out real easy. The other thing you need to do, make sure you have power going to your control module, which on my trailer is located right up there above see where all those lines go? It's on top of those two valves. But if you don't have an ABS light at all, you probably don't have power, and that's probably going to be somewhere between the the control module and the nose box of the trailer, or it could be in your 7-way. It could be the 12-volt ignition power coming back through your 7-way. Check all that stuff first. The other thing could be, so they have these extensions, like this cable right here runs all the way up and goes up into that connector that's hanging loose right there. That actually plugs into the back of the ABS control module and then plugs into the end of this connector right here. So I found one. I checked continuity. In other words, I have a voltmeter here, a digital voltmeter. Let me grab it and bring it over here, and I'll show you what I'm doing with it. Hang on here. You got to get to it. So I have this handy dandy multimeter here, and it is set to just on the ohms side to the speaker. So when you check continuity, what you're looking for, see if I can put you somewhere here where you can watch what I'm doing. So I have some test lead extensions and stuff too, but when you touch the two leads together, you should be able to hear this. So that means you have continuity. That means there's actually current flowing through the wires from one to the other. Now, to get down in these deep plugs, you have to kind of improvise a little bit, because you can't just usually get down in there and check. So I had to makeshift a continuity tester here with a couple pieces of wire and my test leads and everything. And I found that I have this one that doesn't have continuity, meaning there's no current flowing back and forth through it. So I unplugged this end, and as you can see, it's a little green and gross. I cleaned off some of it already, so I'm going to clean it up a little bit, clean down inside the connector here, and check and see if I got continuity again, and see if my ABS light goes out. But drivers, this is why, especially being an owner-operator, you need to learn how this stuff all works and need to have some resources. So I called my old shop manager. I understand how this part of it works. I was thinking about power going to the box, and he says, well, if you got an ABS light, you got power. And I'm like, good point. So just checking continuity now, making sure I don't have a bad extension somewhere or anything. The other three checked out just fine. This one on the left rear is obviously not getting current. So hopefully it's just a dirty connection. And if it is, I'll clean it up with a little bit of penetrating oil, and I'll run the connector back and forth a little. I'll clean any corrosion off. And hopefully that does it. And let's see what it does. Let's just take a look here. I'm going to go ahead and just do this while you're on here with me. And hopefully the wind doesn't blow my phone away. So I just sprayed a little bit of junk down in there. And these only go one way. There's a little notch on there and it lines up. Sorry, you guys kind of took a ride there. But anyway, what I'm doing, I don't have a tripod to put my phone on, so I'm just kind of playing in the dark. So anyway, I'll come back to you and I'll let you know if this works, okay? All right, let's see if I can get you here, see what I'm doing. Since I'm doing all this, I have made up a kind of makeshift setup here to be able to get in there and reach into the probes or into that hole with these right here, because I don't have the long, come on, focus. I don't have the long needle or the long points on my meter I need, so I will just take and get my light in here so I can see what I'm doing. Maybe you can see, maybe you can't. But we're going to check continuity between those two. This is on the wheel speed sensor end right here, but we're going to check continuity between those two ports right there. See if we hear a noise. What do we got going on here? I see. There won't be any continuity there. I don't have this hooked up. Now let's try it. See if my wheel speed sensor is bad. Yep. So I have a bad wheel end speed sensor, because this tells me there's no continuity, so that means this wheel speed sensor is bad. So I need to change that, and so I'll go get me a new wheel speed sensor somewhere and get that fixed. It's that simple. So thank you, everybody. Appreciate you watching. All right, let me show you where the control box is on these trailers. There's different types. There's Bendix, Wapco, Haldex. On this trailer, it is right behind the air tank here, right up here. This little box right here. So here's where your power and everything comes in, and then that's where the wires go back out to the tractor to tell the tractor if it's got a problem. These are your valves to limit the brakes. And it's got all four wheels have the sensors on it, and this is one of the few I've seen that looks like it. I think it only actually controls the back two wheels though, because I don't see any other airlines coming off going to the front. So, and then your see if we can get you where we can see here. Bear with me. I'm trying to get this so we can see what we're doing here and share this with you. So these wires right here, these are what are the extensions that go out to the wheel speed sensors. And a good thing to check is to make sure that they're clean. Plug and unplug them. Now they do have a metal clip, this thing right here, that needs to go back on there. Otherwise those wires can fall right off. So this actually kind of locks that in place. Just like on the power end here, you've got this little metal clip right here that all you need to do is just push it up a little bit to check that connection. It just literally just kind of flips out of the way, and then you can unplug it. So yeah, now you can hear it working, and I still have an ABS light, but we've narrowed it down to that one wheel speed sensor And so now that's all I got to do. So let's put this back on. Make sure this is back in here like it's supposed to be. There's a little groove in each one of those connectors that those little clips go around. And now that's what locks it in place so that they can't just come unplugged. And that's it. Now we've just diagnosed an ABS problem and saved ourselves about $300 in freaking labor. So that's why, guys, I tell you, you know, I'm not just talking out my hind end when I tell you, you need to learn how these systems work and do some research and learn how to work on some of this stuff, because as an owner operator, you know, man, it can get expensive really, really fast. Sorry, I was just looking at that airbag, sitting all kind of cockeyed. I'm gonna have to look at that. I just had those replaced, and I know the shop that did it, and I know the guy that did it. He did a really good job, but I kind of wonder what's going on with that one, why it's sitting so funny. Might just be the way the ground is too, I don't know. But anyway, that's why I tell you guys to make sure you know how to work on this stuff and carry some basic tools with you, because you can fix your own stuff. Especially as an owner-operator. As a company driver, this would get you out of a pinch maybe, you know, knowing some of this, but at least you know how the system works. So I'll show you real quick on these speed sensors what I'm talking about. I mentioned that, you know, they push in and out really easy. So you can see it right here. These just literally, to change, you can just, there's a little lip on there and you can pry that out and see how that, I don't know if you saw that or not. Let me grab my light. So we can just pry that out just a little bit, and then, you know, you can actually just take and these just push in. You just push them in until they touch. You don't need to do anything else with them. And if they're not in all the way and the air gap's too big, there's a ring with a bunch of teeth on it that tells this it's like this is a magnet, and it has a little bit of voltage going through it. And every time that gap and those teeth in that ring pass by, it flashes a signal, and it goes back to the control module, and it lets the wheel or the control module know how fast the wheel's spinning, or if it's spinning at all. And if it's not doing anything, then it's telling the module that there's a wheel that's locked. And that's why you get the ABS light when these are bad, is because it thinks there's a wheel that's not turning. So it's throwing a code saying, hey, you have a problem with your ABS system. So like I said, now that we got that all narrowed down to that one on the back, this is actually the left front. But now that we got that narrowed down to the one on the back, we're all good. You know, I just need to get a new speed sensor. And I think in the process, I'll just buy an extension while I'm at it and just run a whole new wire. And then I'll just be done with it. I won't have to deal with it. And they're not very expensive. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching again. I appreciate you. Hopefully this little tip was helpful. And for those of you that didn't know, for those of you that do know, this is kind of a rehash. But I appreciate your time. Appreciate your comments. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. And hit the notification bell so you get notifications of new videos. And take care, everybody. Be safe out there. Keep the shiny side up, the greasy side down, and we'll catch you on the flip side. See ya.